Hello everybody, and welcome to the overview of the completion of the 18 virtual. I'm going to take you through a few slides and give you some of the information on how the attendees, how the participants viewed the program, what came out of the program, and some of the requests in regards to future programs. But to start off with, here is the results from the feedback from, first of all, the executives, and secondly, the leaders. So we had over 140 people come through the 18 virtual program. As you can see, the results are excellent. Lots and lots of blue, which is the best result we can get. And the others were, and the lowest mark was good. So as you can see, it was very, very well received. And people really did feel it was going to be adding a lot of value to their day-to-day job. But again, nothing below good, which is great. If we go to the next slide, I'm going to be talking about the before and after. So we did a pre-program survey, and this was some of the information from the leadership track that people said this is what they were doing before. So they used to tell their salespeople the direction they should be going in. They would conduct pipeline reviews. They would agree verbally, this is what we've agreed now. Can you please go ahead and do it? And they normally would have like these long sessions where the discussions would be at length. The feedback we got from the leaders afterwards, after the program, on how they saw coaching, they now are convinced that the salespeople should be arriving at the conclusions themselves. Avoid telling. Very little was happening with telling, but if they could use the coaching skills, the salespeople would come to their conclusions. The sessions were more, rather than just talking about the pipeline, who you should be working on, they're now more development sessions, making people better at what they were doing. Instead of the verbal agreements, now smart objectives are being set, holding the salesperson accountable. And the sessions now aren't at length and drawn out. They're short, sharp sessions. We have visibility, we're talking the same language, and we're getting things done. So that was from the leadership. From the executives, we had two main goals. We had the pipeline and we had customer management. The pipeline before, people would say it was my list of what I'm working on. These were my opportunities. It would keep track of my prospects, and I know what was the potential in the market. This has shifted quite dramatically to now being a valuable insight for the direction of where I'm heading, ability to track and achieve targets. It's the picture of my current performance. It's telling me where I am and what I need to do. And a lot of comments around it's making my life easier now. It's making my life easier to be a salesperson. In regard to customer management, again, the results were very, very good. People would comment before that managing customers is all about relationships and all about having meetings with my customers. I had to renew the client. And so there was a lot of things happening 90 days before. And I'm there to provide assistance to my customers. The feedback that we've got in the post-program survey, again, a huge shift to now we want to meet new contacts within our existing client, especially outside of IT and procurement, getting closer to the users. We want to educate, we want to understand. Only if we understand and know what we can educate, can we really add value to the client's business. We want to sell more, not only the renewal, but maybe, again, there's a huge opportunity from AutoCAD to the AEC collection. And I think before the customers, it was a reactive approach. Now, without investing a huge amount of time, there's little things we can do. We need to stay focused, but we can be proactive and manage customers much, much better. Okay, so now I move to the outcomes, I'm going to just talk you through when we asked people what had been implemented, and we had some comments. Okay, so I'm just going to change the view here. So what has been implemented? I could probably talk for half an hour on these two subjects, on implementation and quotes. But the main the main comments were following up. It seems there was a huge lack of follow-up. So, when we asked the people, what are you doing differently? Follow-up came out considerably. A scorecard, like measuring my activity. You know, activity leads to results. Not making it too complicated, but just having 4 or 5 things that I'm just ensuring that I'm doing on a regular basis, which will ensure results. Proactive was a very big one. Putting time aside, not floating through the day. Putting time aside to look for new business, that was a big one. Putting time aside to look for new business, and also about managing customers. Managing customers, believe it or not, it was quite funny, but a lot of the comments was, I'm going to start managing my customers better. And the other one, which I think we all knew was going to come out, was shifting to a rolling pipeline rather than just looking at my quarterly forecast. Quotes, again, they were endless, but I'm going to give you the ones that were directly linked to business. So a lot of the coaching sessions were a huge success because you would actually see people progress with opportunities that they had identified. In one case, the proactive hour that people were putting aside, one of the guys in Saudi said, I found an opportunity during that proactive hour, mirroring my competitors and my customers' competitors. And I found an opportunity, and that opportunity closed by the next coaching session, 15 AEC licenses. So a great success. We introduced the product matrix to identify in a very easy way where the opportunities lie within my existing client. And one person was managing the client for the last 7 years and had never actually thought about asking about other elements of the business. That led to a tour of the factory, and it uncovered a huge opportunity that's in the pipeline now. And another one, I think the most common comments were, I'm talking to the right people in the business now. I've really pushing myself to get to the right people. And there's a lot of comments about mirroring my competitors' companies. So looking for my customers' competitors and how can I approach them. And I'm sure there's lots that's gone into the pipeline from doing that. And one positive out of that is, I think a lot of them that are going into the pipeline is a new way of doing business, and they're not just taking the business from the partners. So again, implementation and comments, I could easily spend a good hour on talking about that. If I go back to the presentation studio and just end with the comments about future program. If you can see there's a wide mix. It looks like there's a huge range of what people are looking for. But when you consider the selling value, which had the highest percentage, and people actually chose more than one topic. So people didn't just choose one each, they chose more than one. But wrapped up into selling value is negotiation skills, presentation skills, questioning technique, closing skills. So there's a huge focus on, we've been doing a lot about the activity, the pipeline, and managing customers. The request now for next year is definitely about being better when we're trying to convince a client, being better when we're actually engaged with the client and trying to close the business. And I think we're on track for that. Okay, thank you very much. I think from all of the facilitators, not only are the results great, but when myself, Mugi, and Leo chat, we are all extremely excited every time about this happening and that happening. And we have a new addition. John is joining us, joining the team for French Africa for the 4th quarter rollout of 18 Virtual. Thank you very much again for the opportunity, and I look forward to catching up soon.